Doreen, can you hear me? You are muted.
James, can you hear me?
I can. Loud
Thank
and
you.
clear. We
I
are live
can't hear
streaming.
you.
Okay. I'll get Zach on that.
Okay. Now can you hear me? Hello? I'm trying. Will you just answer? No, you're not. It is. I hear it with the test. Everybody can hear me but you, Jim. Oh, the joy of live entertainment. Welcome, everyone. Hope everyone is having a great evening. I can't hear Jim out of my headset for whatever reason. Zachary, can you fix that?
Can you hear me now, Doreen? Can
now
you hear me
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah.
Stop
My mic
wandering
was
behind
always-
me.
Well, that I could wander to get Zach to get your headset on.
Well, he was
Okay.
sitting right. All right. All right. Zachary, can you make it so that I can see who's here, please? Aha, look at all those people here today. Where's everyone coming to us from? South Carolina, Nevada. And you made it. That's awesome. All right. Well, welcome everyone. We're coming to you live from Detroit City with I can't hear you. You're on mute, Jim.
I'm on mute on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This time? You're
Yeah, I
not
did
just
that on
gonna
purpose.
lurk behind me.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we have, everyone. Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. How many people do I have here that are first-time attendees to one of our webinars? What are you doing? What are you doing? Now I can't see what people are saying. My technical help today is just making me crazy. There we go. First time. Kenneth, me. For crying out loud. It's going to be a day today. First time? Awesome. Well, I didn't want to bore everyone with what would probably be considered a repeat of things we've done in the past. But it looks like we have a bunch of first timers. So I am going to start at the beginning and take everyone through how to attract more students with e-learning and automation. So, oh, for crying out loud, there we go. Where to begin? What am I supposed to be using this time? Thank you. All right. Where to begin? So everyone on the call should start with a Google business profile so that you show up on Google Maps, a website, joining Facebook groups, and then there are some guerrilla marketing tactics that we do along the way. I don't know how many of you have a Google business profile, but there are companies out there that will let you to believe that you have to spend thousands of dollars doing website SEO marketing, and it's quite frankly a bunch of hooey. The best way for you to find students consistently is to have a good Google business profile listed on Google. 87% of people who are looking for firearm training are just going onto the Google machine and typing in the words concealed pistol license class or wear and carry class or firearm training. And unless you have your business listed as a Google business profile, they will never find you. Second part of that is that even though you list yourself on there as a business, you need to make sure that your profile is complete because it uses keywords, it uses location, it uses reviews in order to make you relevant for people to find you. So the misnomer is that unless you have a physical location, you can't have a Google business profile, but that's not true. You can have a Google business profile without having a actual physical location for your business. You do need to offer them a address initially just so that they can verify your business. But beyond that, you can make that so that it doesn't show. You can put up to 20 communities in there that you serve that are searchable. People are able to go out, leave a review for you and find you. And the more activity that you have on your Google business profile, meaning people coming to your profile, utilizing your profile to find you, leaving reviews for you, you responding back to those reviews moves you up in the ranking on Google. Very, very important to have a Google business profile. It takes minutes to set up. You can link your website, you can link chat to it, you can feature photographs of where it is you're teaching, but very important. That leads you to being able to be listed on Google Maps, which is also very important. You see, I'm in the metropolitan Detroit area. We've got trainers on every corner. This is just like a 10-mile radius of my shop. They're everywhere. Not everybody has a Google business profile in my town, thank goodness. But those are the ones that do. Makes it very easy for somebody to find you. You want to make sure that you have a Facebook presence. Some people have a love-hate relationship with Facebook. I know that I'm one of them. Mark Zuckerberg and I have not seen eye to eye for many, many years. I spend a lot of time being in timeout when it comes to Facebook. However, it is important that you have a presence on Facebook because there is a thing called groups on Facebook that you can join. And it's literally free advertising. I pay zero money on Facebook for advertising, zero money on Google for advertising. Everything I do on these platforms is done for free. So you will want to make sure that you have a Google Facebook profile. My problem with being on Facebook is that I have a horrible sense of humor, I guess it would be. I'm very sarcastic, biting. The things that I think funny, Mark Zuckerberg does not. So he ends up telling me that I am outside of community standards a lot. So that has affected my business page for Detroit Arms a number of times in the past. If you want to maintain a separate presence for yourself on Facebook, I would highly recommend that you have your personal Facebook page that friends and family go to, and then you have another presence on there for yourself as an instructor, where you can then also link your business Facebook profile so that your personal Facebook and your not so personal Facebook don't overstep each other. Facebook groups, when you become on Facebook, there's groups that you can join, and it's literally zero out of pocket spend for placing ads in these groups. Every community has dozens and dozens and dozens of groups that you can join. Some of them have calendars in them that you can post your classes on and are visible for everybody in the group. Some groups have a couple hundred members. Some groups have tens of thousands of members. It's important that you join these Facebook groups and then you put your ads in them in order to keep yourself visible. A website, people tend to believe if you build it, they will come. This is where everybody gets tripped up in the SEO marketing of the business side of things. You need a website, but does it need to have thousands of dollars worth of SEO marketing, search engine optimization marketing? Absolutely not. Your website is basically your salesperson, your 24-hour day, 7-day a week salesperson. It should be up there to tell people who you are, what you do, when you do it, how to find you, and things of that nature. Guerrilla marketing, these are some budget-friendly things that I do locally in order to get exposure for Detroit Arms, which is my company, my CPL company. I tend to drop business cards in local restaurants that we have, where they have like little tables where local businesses can put their business cards. I often run contests on Facebook in order to encourage interaction. During the football year, I run guess what the final score is of any Detroit Lions game, who the winner is. If you get the correct winner and the exact score, you win a Michigan concealed pistol license class. All year I ran the contest. Every single Detroit Lions game, I never had a winner. So it created a lot of activity on the site because people were logging on, sharing it with their friends, and putting my information out there. But I actually never gave anything away all year. I do flyers on community boards. Some of the coffee shops around town have community boards. Some of the restaurants where you can just put up a flyer. I donate gift certificates to local fundraisers. I've hosted free USCCA mini classes here at Detroit Arms to encourage people to come on in. And most importantly, emails to past students. A past student is 6 to 7 times more likely to refer you to people, and those people are 6 to 7 times more likely to purchase from you. So keeping in touch with past students and keeping your information in front of them is really important. Another thing I do is I train students 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, utilizing video on demand. Online learning is a huge trend. Even in the firearm industry, you would think that we're mostly a hands-on industry, but that is not necessarily the case. We can do Zoom training, we can do video on demand. And I know a lot of my instructors that I work with on a day-to-day basis struggle because maybe the classroom that they have to be able to teach in is their living room or their garage or their basement or someplace that only holds a dozen people or less. So for them, trying to grow is really difficult. And bringing your classroom into a Zoom or a video on demand platform can really help in trying to get more revenue for you as an instructor so that you're able to find a bigger place to train. So here we are. We're in a unique time in history. Never before has online learning been more accepted, and we need to learn to embrace it here in the firearms business. Statistics show the market for global e-learning is going to be $458 billion by 2026. 70% of students agree that online classes are better than traditional. And this is really from a student's perspective of they're nervous about coming into a concealed carry class. They're nervous about being perceived as asking silly questions or stupid or not understanding the content. And so a lot of students like to dip their toe into the firearm training business with an online class. It shows that 98% of corporations have incorporated some kind of online learning, and 42% of businesses who utilize online learning are going to generate more revenue. So I'm going to rewind the clock to when COVID hit here in Michigan. It was March of 2020. I had a thriving training business. And when COVID went into full swing here in Michigan, our governor shut everything down. All in-person training was ordered to stop. That's how I make my money, is online training, bringing people in for an 8-hour class, taking them to the range, graduating them. And so without the ability to do that, my business was like driven completely to a halt. And so I had to pivot. I had to find what Jim calls field expedient methods to put in place in order to figure out how I was going to keep Detroit Arms in business. His idea immediately, because he's a tech guy, was, hey, let's just use technology. Me personally, I had never used Zoom before in my life. And personally, I thought for firearms training, you've got to be kidding me. That's just ridiculous. I've never used Zoom. I don't have any kind of time to learn some new software. I don't want to be on camera. Look at this hair. I don't like the way I look. I'm nervous in front of a camera. People are going to eat me alive. And honestly, who's going to buy into this? Because it's firearms. You need to put your hands on things. And as it turned out, people ate it up. I was busier than ever. I had gone from just training. Yes, it will be available for future viewing. I had gone from people sitting in my classroom for 8 hours to people looking for something to do. And they were done cleaning out closets and everything else. So taking a firearm training class was going to be important to them. So student attendance skyrocketed. I went from teaching class on just Saturday and Sunday to 7 days a week. People who wouldn't normally attend because of weekend commitments were now attending, and it was just crazy busy for me. And it hasn't stopped. USCCA instructors all over the country should be taking advantage of the fact that COVID opened up an opportunity for us to do online training. And I'm getting huge results. Every single one of you have some type of knowledge that you can monetize. And I have found that students are less threatened by online content because they're able to just kind of dabble and see what it's all about. It establishes your credibility, your personal teaching style, and classes can be available 24/7. So I'm saying, hey, are you feeling optimistic? And everyone here is thinking, oh, maybe next month, whatever. But here's an opportunity for you. The deal is that if you can dream it, you can do it. You don't need a fancy studio. You don't need a special beauty routine. All you need is the ability to form words. And even I struggle with that on a good day. What it is content is king. And so now you're saying, well, what? The USCCA has a ton of content for us as instructors. If you go into your instructor portal, you will see that they have a bunch of classes, all of the mini classes that they have there. They have a ton of classes that we can teach, but those classes, in order to be done, have to be done live. The USCCA will not allow us to record any USCCA content. Now, the bonus of doing a live class, whether it's on Zoom or another live platform, is that you can get student credit. So if you're struggling to get your 20 butts in seats for being a student, for being an instructor, grabbing students for a 55-minute long mini class on developing a personal and home protection plan is a great way to do that. All of the stuff that the USCCA provides for us as instructors, though, has to be done live. They will not allow us to record any of their information. You can make your own content. I know that a lot of instructors out there have YouTube channels or they have classes that they do in person that are classes that could also be recorded and delivered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on an online portal. Things like basic firearm safety, kids and guns, a class about, what's the difference between concealed versus open carry. I know a lot of states have gone with constitutional carry and maybe covering why you would consider getting a concealed carry permit if you live in a state with constitutional carry. But if you can think of some kind of knowledge that you want to impart on someone, you can make a class. So there's also done for you content. I have recorded a bunch of done for you content that is done on a very vanilla type of format. I have recorded 4 leader classes. One of the classes here is called Introduction to Handguns. That's about a 40-minute course. I've got a couple of other short courses, the How to Choose Your First Class, Why Take a Gun Safety course, and What You Need to Know as a Firearms Owner. Those are just little 10-minute kind of leader courses. These courses that I've recorded for Cloud Bedrock clientele, which I'll get to in a little bit. They're pre-recorded, they're done for you. You can customize the content of the course simply by recording a bumper before or after. You can pull my voice tracks off and use the voice tracks that I've used to record. But with the stuff that I've already done and have put up in the Cloud Bedrock platform, you can literally launch a video on demand training site in a day. So how do you do it? What do you do with these courses? Well, the first step is to join the Facebook groups in your area, and you can go in, search for groups based on your location. My goal is for you to join as many groups as possible. There's event groups, there's sales groups, there's community groups. You need to think about the names of the counties in your area, the names of the cities in your area, the names of anything you can think of in your area that you might be able to post and add in. The more groups you join, the wider your exposure. Then you drop in a free ad with your offering. So this particular one, St. Clair Shores, Michigan Residents Group, is a group for a city that's probably 10 miles south of me. 6,500 plus members in that group. And I will simply put in a little picture like this that says, hey, do you have a firearm in your home? Do you know the laws with regard to self-defense? It's absolutely free to post. And I put in a URL to a website on my website, a link to my website. When a person clicks on that link, they're going to get taken to this, and it captures their contact information. So they have to go in, put in their first name, their last name, their email, and their phone number. And when they hit submit, then they get entered into a database for me, and they get given the information that they need to know as a firearm owner who maybe has a gun and doesn't plan to carry it, but they plan to use it for self-defense in their home. This video's under 10 minutes long. Good information as far as, hey, do you know the legal form of what self-defense is considered in your state? Do you understand what needs to be in play if you use a firearm and it's self-defense? Do you know how to make a 911 call? Do you know all of these things? Just basic stuff. But the goal here was that I now have them, because they click that and they watch this. I've now captured their information in a database where I can follow back up with them for additional training. Same premise for this. I have a 30-minute online self-paced course called Introduction to Handguns. I can put it out there. I can determine if I'm going to charge for it, if it's free. I've offered it as a, hey, sign up for a CPL class and get a free introductions to handgun class. This is something that I've recorded, generic information, none of my personal feelings or input put into it. They go there, they pay $9.99, they enter their information, and wham, they get the video, they watch it at their convenience. And again, I have their name, their email address, and their phone number for follow-up later. Most recently, I created a real estate agent safety class. I know the USCCA has a class for this, but their class has to be delivered live. If you are going to deliver their information, it has to be live. This particular course that I created is a 1 hour and 40-minute course, and it can be delivered on demand 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, no classroom needed, no instructor needed. Same premise. You put it out there, people sign up for it, they take the class. I made a little brochure. I have a local real estate office that's hosting like a group. What are you giving? Professional placement of during slides? Sorry. I have a local real estate office here that's gathering a bunch of real estate agents, 100 real estate agents next week for a lunch and learn. They are going to hand out this brochure to everyone in the class stating, hey, you can get a 2-hour real estate agent safety class. It's online. I happen to be in a position where I can offer continuing education credits here in Michigan through a program here in Michigan. If you have licensing, contact Jim, contact your local real estate licensing board. Whoever licenses the real estate agents in your area will be able to tell you if you can qualify for CE credit. What I did was I reached out, I found out who licensed the CE credits in Michigan. I submitted to them my outline for my course. And the goal here is that you're submitting it from a position of helping a real estate agent stay safe. And the course that I've made is pretty in depth for what it is. And they took a look at my curriculum. They said, hey, you know what? This is great information. We're going to allow you to offer 2 hours of continuing education credit just for general, for any real estate professional that takes the class. So I collect when they book the class, I collect their real estate agent number, their 10-digit number. And then when the system says that they have completed the class, I submit it to the board and they receive CE credit. And it's been a beautiful program. I have done this program live with agents in the area. I've done the USCCA one live as well. Both of them I've gotten CE credit availability for. The bonus with this one is that it can be done with any agent in the state of Michigan. So if you figure out how many real estate agents there are in the state of Michigan, and every single one of them is required to do continuing education in order to keep their license current, this is a great way for them to get 2 credits. So I charge $20 for the class. They can do it at their leisure and they get credit for the class. In the next 30 days, our next class is a mobile and lone worker safety class. This too can be advertised. You can put it out there for community stuff where, hey, look, we're doing nice things for the community. You can market it as a paid class. There are tons of companies out there who have mobile and lone workers that they're looking for some kind of information for them to the material in the class, yes, is not state specific. The real estate class that I did is for any valid for any state in the state of Michigan. There's nothing with regard to state law in that. Mobile and loan safety worker, so many people out there. I mean, there's plumbers, electricians, truck drivers, all of these and more are jobs out there that have people in the field who maybe work in an office for some point of the day, but they're going into people's homes. They're going into people's places of business. They're going into places where they're not familiar. And a lot of the same things that are a problem for a real estate agent are the same things that are problems for these individuals as well. I have come across, from a real estate perspective, offices who pay for their agents to take the real estate agent safety class as like a bonus. I have found companies locally who have mobile and loan workers who said, hey, I would pay for my employees to take this just because I want them to be safe on the job. And so you can do it as community outreach. You can do it as a paid gig where you offer it on your website and sell it to people. All ways to make money. Both of these classes, excuse me, I'm suffering from bronchitis and it's catching up to me. Both of these classes, the goal is to get them into a concealed carry class at the end. Not everybody signs up for a concealed carry class after doing the safety program, but it is a consideration, and that's another way to get more students. So here's another little class that I sell. This one is specific to the Michigan concealed carry market. It's a little different than everything else, but this is a sales snapshot. It just shows you of a class that I sell for $37.95. Yeah, to be clear, none of the courses that I've pre-recorded are state specific, all generic information that can be used in all 50 states. If you wanted to add state specific information, that is certainly something that you can do. Here's a class that I sell for $37.95. This is a little dated. This is back from November, December, but it's a class called a 3-hour Michigan concealed pistol license renewal class. Here in the state of Michigan, every 5 years, we're required to renew our CPL licenses. We are not required to take a formal class for this. We are required to do a 3-hour review of the required training, and we are required to do an hour of shooting time in the 6 months before we renew our license. So for years, I've been hosting an in-person class where people come in for 3 hours and do the review. Eventually, I wrote a book, a PDF book that people could buy to do the 3 hours of training. And some people just don't like reading books. And so I created a 3-hour on-demand course. It's got its own website, just kind of stands out there as, hey, is it time to renew your CPL? State of Michigan requires applicants to sign an affidavit stating that they've done a review of training. State of Michigan doesn't put out there what they consider the review of training. They just put out there that you have to review training. People get a little bit nervous. They look to me for, hey, what is that training? And I give it to them. I offer it to them as an in-person. They can do it online, self-paced, or they can do an ebook. And I answer some of the questions about, well, why would I want to take a class? Because technically they could self-study, but I give them reasons why they would want to take a class with me. And then the class is broken out into modules. And these modules are simply just based on what the standard modules were in the original state requirement for a concealed pistol license class. So this is, in fact, state, pertinent information, but it's just an example of one of the classes that I've decided to put together for my people. What this means is that I make money while I sleep. I'm making $100 a day just from classes that I have out on my website that I'm not even present for. How do you get the classes routed to your pages, Derek? Jim will do that for you. He is going to, because you guys are Club Bedrock clients, he's able to get those posted on your website, all of the funnels and everything. You can decide if you charge for a class, if you don't charge for a class, you collect your money on your regular Stripe account or however it is that you collect it. But my reality here is that I'm training people to be safe real estate agents. I'm training people to be better prepared for showing up to my class. And I'm doing it on their schedule. I'm not even having to be present for any of this. So anyone can do this. It doesn't matter where you're located in the United States of America. If it's not a renewal class, maybe it's a unconventional shooting positions class you want to teach. Maybe it's a class on what's the difference between concealed carry and open carry. Maybe it's a class on how to choose a great holster, a great fitting holster, how to draw from a holster. It's anything you can teach your students. You can put it online and you can deliver it to them. It doesn't matter if you're a new instructor, a seasoned instructor. If you can think it, you can do it. And so the video on demand is great because people work different shifts. There are people who want to take a renewal class with me, but my renewal classes in person are from 6 to 9 in the evening. They don't have from 6 to 9 in the evening. They want to take it at 2 in the morning. I'm not keen about being here at 2 in the morning to teach a class so they can do it on demand. Unlike a lot of other places where you can host video on demand, because there's other training platforms out there that you can do it. Other places take a portion of what you earn. On the Cloud Bedrock platform, as a Cloud Bedrock customer, you keep every penny that you make, whether it's your content, whether it's content that I've recorded for you. It is all yours. It's hosted on a platform here at Cloud Bedrock, and we're here to assist you with all of that. So I've told you how I teach without being available, but I haven't told you about automation. Automation is huge. I'm a one-person show. It's me. I am everything to Detroit Arms. I put 20 to 40 butts in seats for our one-day Michigan concealed carry class. I do it every single week. Most of my classes are 35 to 45 people. I have had weeks where I dip down into the 20s, but I spend exactly $0 on advertising this class. I used to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars until I figured out how to get this stuff done. So I get it done. I get it done every week. I wear all of the hats here. I answer the phone. I'm the person doing the social media. I'm the one doing all the prep work for the class. I'm teaching class. I'm cleaning up after the class. I'm doing the advertising. I'm vacuuming. I'm cleaning the bathrooms. And every day I'm screaming, who's eating candy in the bathroom? Because when I go in the men's room, I find candy wrappers all over the back of the toilet, and it never ceases to amaze me. So I'm kind of busy. I'm also on with Cloud Bedrock clientele throughout the day, helping them set up themselves on autopilot for their business advertising. So I have calls coming in that I'm unable to answer. Whenever I get a call here at Detroit Arms, if I'm not able to answer it, even if the person doesn't leave me a message, the moment they disconnect, they get a message from me saying, hi, it's Doreen with Detroit Arms. Sorry, I missed your call. What can I help you with? A lot of times I might just be on the phone with somebody. I might be in the middle of a doctor appointment. I might be out shopping. Somebody might send me a message back and just saying, hey, just want to know if you have room in your Saturday class. Just checking to see how much your class is. Little things that I can immediately get back with them on via text. I've got web chat connected everywhere in my life. I've got a web chat on my website. I've got it on my Google page. I've got it on my Facebook. It used to be that I had to track down where all of my web chats were and with who. The Cloud Bedrock platform that Jim put together for me consolidates all of those chats into one place on my cell phone. So I'm able to chat with everybody from one location, no matter where I'm at. If I'm in a situation where I'm not able to chat, maybe I'm out on the range with a student or whatever, and I'm not going to be chatting on my phone, I can assign those chat duties to Jim or to Zachary or to someone else in my office for them to do that. I've got reputation management. That is huge. It is really, really, really important for you to manage your reviews on Google because that's how people are going to find you. If you have a Google business profile, but you don't have any reviews, it just cancels each other out. I need to make sure that every single one of my clients is logging on, giving me a review, and then I'm logging on and I'm thanking them for that review. And I can do that all from my cell phone. I don't have to be in front of a computer with Google to be able to do that. The customer software program that Jim has attached to the Cloud Bedrock platform automatically asks clients for that review, so I don't have to remember to do it. I know most of us put our student lists for our classes in the USCCA platform. I'm not sure if you understand that when you put your student list in the platform and then you hit the submit class and you submit everybody who's attended the class, USCCA circles back around and sends those people a request for a review for you. Hey, how did you like the class? Then those come back up and they show up in your USCCA instructor portal. That does nothing for you when it comes to getting you out in the world where people can find you. That is an internal measure for the USCCA as to how you're doing as an instructor, but it does nothing to drive more business to you. So what I have in place is that when my class ends, all of my students are already in my customer relation database. When my class ends, an auto email goes out to all of my students with a link to my Google page saying, hey, thank you for taking the time to take my class. I hope you found everything exactly the way you expected it. If you have any questions, reach out. If you could take a moment, fill out this review. It goes right on my Google page. I'm able to then go on my Google page, thank them for the review, and it moves me up in that Google ranking and keeps me relevant. The USCCA doesn't do that for you. You have to do that for you. Only after my emails go out do I then circle back and click the submit results for my classes into the USCCA, because at that point, I've captured those reviews on the Google platform where I need them. We have websites, we have funnels, we have online learning portals. Here's the thing. I'm here to help you streamline and grow your business. So you're not alone in the struggle. I have instructors nationwide that I work with every day. We do training for a living. I've been doing this 15 years. Learn from my mistakes and let me help you. I will go and do a complete review of whatever your existing advertising plan is, whether it is we're paying for ads on Facebook and we're just not getting a return. I'll tell you why. I can help you with logo and meme development. I can help you with marketing and so much more. When you sign up with Cloud Bedrock, we've got 5 done for you starter courses that you can put on your page and start running with. There's funnels attached to all of those, meaning they collect information, they put that information into a database for you to be able to follow up. Jim can tell you a little bit more about how you get onto the program, but I will tell you that unlike much of the tech landscape out there, we are highly Second Amendment friendly. Jim is a U.S. Army veteran. We've been in this 15 years. We're not the kind of platform that's going to kick you off for putting out a photo of a gun. Currently, we have a special running for USCCA instructors. We can go over all of that in a quick call. But if you're interested in learning how to streamline your business and how to get those classes that I've recorded for everyone onto your website so that you can start selling them, it's as little as $197 a month. Set up a 15-minute no obligation call. You can set it up with me. You can set it up with Jim. I'll walk you through the program, and then I'm there for you constantly to help you get your business up and running. It doesn't matter. And that's me as a kid. And I've got my new Frisbees right here. It doesn't matter if you're an established instructor. It doesn't matter if you're a brand new instructor. This is what you need to do in order to get things up and running. I'm crazy busy, but my classes fill almost by themselves. And it's really easy for you to do. It is not a magic bullet. If you think you're going to be able to just sign up and all of a sudden you'll get butts and seats, you do have to put some work into this. I was working with Derek, who's on the call. I was working with him earlier today, showing him how you place those free ads into the groups on Facebook. Yes, you can buy promoted posts on Facebook. Yes, you can give Mark Zuckerberg hundreds of dollars to say, hey, put my information out in front of people. The reality is that you will get your information out there, but not necessarily to the people who are going to purchase from you. By putting it in these groups that I've referred to, you get your information out to hundreds of thousands of people for free. It only takes minutes to do. And it's a great way to capture potential students for your class by offering those free little 10-minute things for people to watch. You're able to grab people's information and put them into a contact queue for you to be able to reach out and say, hey, I saw you were interested in knowing why you should take a gun safety class. We have an in-person gun safety class coming up here on the 23rd. Are you interested in attending? And at that point, you have a qualified student. Does anyone have any questions at all for us? Sorry, I'm starting to lose my umph. It's bad enough I can't hear in my headset.
Yeah, any questions whatsoever? I did put a couple links in the chat, in the webinar chat there, one for the special that we have for USCCA firearms instructors, as well as the link to the contact page, which is we'll set up a 15-minute call with us, and we can jump on the call and figure out what your needs are and see where we can help you.
If you have a website on GoDaddy, yeah, we can port it all over. In fact, it includes well, Jim, you talk. You're the tech guy.
Yeah, there's a number of different ways that people work with us on websites. One, we can bring your website in and host it with Cloud Bedrock. That's included as part of the service. Two, leave your website where it is, integrate your website into Cloud Bedrock. And when I say integrate, there are some key features that we can easily turn on regardless of where your website is. Like web chat. That takes just a few seconds, and we can have a web chat put atop your website. Forms and surveys and those kinds of things we can embed in any website. If you have a WordPress site, we can host your WordPress site within Cloud Bedrock, and then we can also do some pretty interesting things with WordPress sites to integrate with Cloud Bedrock, so that you can do things like if somebody purchases something on a WooCommerce page, we can automatically create the contact in Cloud Bedrock. We can automatically tag that customer that they purchased that particular item. We can restrict content based on tags that you have within Cloud Bedrock. So we can do a lot of really interesting things depending on how you want to get things done.
We have taught the Countering the Mass Shooter class. We've done that because it's a USCCA course. We've done that in person. We've done it at a lot of churches locally here. Are you questioning whether that is a class that we're looking to generate a recorded class for? There's a lot of elements in that class that would go over really well on a recorded course. We can't copy the information from the USCCA, but how long is the class? It depends. It's a couple hours, 2 hours, I believe. The last time we did it, maybe longer.
Yeah, it really depends on the size of the congregations as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a USCCA class. That's a class that would have to be done in person. And I
Or
have
live. Yeah, live Zoom. Yeah.
right. And I have an instructor who's certified to teach that, and he teaches it. I don't personally teach it. I'm usually present for the class, but I don't personally teach it. Any other questions? Dude, do you hear that train? Can anybody hear the
I
train?
do hear the train.
I'm pretty sure it's coming through our building. Gosh, couldn't hear anything an hour ago. Now, how do you contact us?
Yeah.
Jim,
So
can
I'll
you
put
put
that
the
link
link
in
up there for
again.
that?
Yeah. Yeah. So there is link coming in right now.
My schedule's wide open for tomorrow.
Mhm.
My schedule's pretty open for Saturday. I think I have one call on Saturday. I actually don't have classes this weekend. We decided we were going to take some time off. We took this weekend off, and then whammo, I got sick with bronchitis. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. So I'm just on the telephone helping everybody else out this weekend. But yeah, we took a weekend off thinking we were going to have some good weather and good times. And now look.
Good times.
Good
Good
times.
times.
Good times. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that link I just put in there also, you'll see that it's a calendar view, and that's actually another feature within Cloud Bedrock. So one of the things it
How
will
do I
do
see
is it
this
will
now?
schedule
My
a
people.
Zoom call, which we integrate with that as well. And those types of features people also use for like one-on-one classes. You can turn on Stripe, billing to bill for particular calendar events. You can link those calendars against Google or Outlook for the availability. You can put Teams, all that kind of stuff. Yes. So on the essentials, the question is, are the done for use and other classes available for both the essentials and professional levels? Yes, that is actually what the special was, is we brought the ability to both have unlimited websites and funnels and membership sites. And the membership sites, you can basically consider them the ability to have e-learning courses, on-demand courses. We brought that from the which is normally in the professional plan into the essentials plan, because we knew that people really need to get that feature, out there for the instructors. So the done for you classes are available for both. If you already have customers,
Ken, your stuff is already there. It's already in your Cloud Bedrock portal. All of that stuff is available
if you go to site, if you log into your portal and you go to sites, and then on the upper bar, you're going to see memberships. And then if you go from memberships to products, you will see all kinds of products in there. Yeah. So definitely
book a call.
Book a call with me.
Book a call with Jim, and he'll get them
15 minutes and we can wire that up for you. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's something that the two of you, did you get a bunch of your classes or your ads posted today? Were you able to get through most of the groups that you joined? Awesome. I know it's a little tedious initially, but the ones that have a calendar option on them, the groups out there that have a calendar option, once you get your information in there, you're just able to duplicate it over and over and over. And it's just a matter of a couple clicks. It's the groups that don't have a calendar on them that you have to like cut and paste and cut and paste and cut and paste. But I tend to like take an afternoon and just kick it all out depending on where we're at in the month. As far as every time I turn around, I have a different way to get a hold of something here. Let's see. there was a question about Zoom. What do most students want to use Zoom? Zoom is what we use for any live classes that are delivered. So if I'm doing a 55-minute short course on something, yeah, we would use Zoom, and we would do it just like we're doing it now. If I'm talking about
Zoom
delivering,
webinars is the
yeah,
feature we use. Yeah.
right.
Zoom
If
meetings
I'm
or Zoom webinars, but webinars is handy because people join the meeting, without camera, essentially, so they can chat. And you can bring them in if you want, if it's needed. But yeah, typically we're using the Zoom webinar feature.
right. And the catch with Zoom is, and I've had difficulty with Zoom in the past with live classes, because you don't know that they're not there, that they haven't just like logged in and then wandered off and they're outside hitting golf balls while you think they're in a Zoom class. So when you're doing a Zoom class, especially if it's something where you're getting student credit for it or something, you will want to make sure that you teach that class in such a manner that you are conversing back and forth with your students and requiring them to answer questions as you go along, so that you know that they're there and engaged, that they haven't just like disappeared like Jim tends to do. He tends to disappear and then troll me all over the building, and he stands behind me asking if I can hear him in a microphone, and he's not even talking into a microphone. So yeah, Zoom. For everything else, for like the classes that we've pre-recorded, that is all just sitting on a server here. And you get metrics as far as who's purchased the class, how far they, well, Jim, can you explain what they get to know about students?
Yeah, you can whether they've, of course, signed up for the class, because you'll grant them access, and that's all automatic. We build the automations for you on this. But you can also know when they've completed the class. You know percentage of completion. And then you can trigger automations based upon that as well. So you can send them a thank you. You can send them a survey, those kinds of things.
Yeah. And so for example, like all of my students who book a ticket to my class for my concealed carry class, they come in, they book that class, and then I have a very structured setup as far as what kind of communication I'm going to have with that customer prior to the class, as well as following that class. So when they sign up, they get a confirmation. Thank you. Here's your ticket. Some generic information about the class. 48 hours before the class, they get a more detailed email saying, hey, remember, you're scheduled for this class, starts at 10 a.m. Here's our address. Here's where you should park. If you're bringing a firearm with you, this is how to safely transport a firearm. I have a Dropbox of some files that I want them to review before they come. I have a range waiver that I need them to sign before they come. So I drop that out about 48 hours in advance. I send another reminder 24 hours in advance. And these reminders are important for especially instructors who have smaller class sizes. For me, my classroom, I can easily fit 60 people in it. If one or two people doesn't show, not a big deal, because I've made my money by the time I've got my, 15th student in the seats. For somebody who can only host 10 or 12 people, if two people say they forgot about the class, that's impactful, because now you've lost those two seats that you couldn't sell to somebody else. And now you're going to have to backfill those two seats later, which means you're taking a double dip on those people not having shown up. So I like to send out multiple emails with a reminder. That way, if somebody had something come up, maybe they got bronchitis and couldn't come to a class, I have the ability to offer those seats to somebody else. Then when my students take the class, as soon as the class is done, without me even touching anything, everybody that was in that class got an email from me thanking them for taking the time to spend the day with me, to take my class. I hope that they found everything to be exactly as they hoped it would be. and I ask them for that Google review. They are very apt to get that done. If I don't get a Google review out of them, because the system will know if they clicked and did that, it will ask them again to please take a moment, submit a Google review. I rely on these in order to get more students just like you to train to be a CPL holder. All automated. So then I can choose if I want in 4 years, right before I know that they need to renew their CPL license, to send out a blast of emails to everybody who took a class 4 years ago to say, hey, it's going to be time for you to renew your Michigan CPL. That's another opportunity for me to get in front of them. I can send out a blast to everyone who's taken a particular class. Maybe they've taken an introduction to handguns class. I can send out a blast to everyone who's ever taken that class to say, hey, we have a CPL class coming up. Are you interested? And they can book there. If they choose not to book, they stay in the link for future CPL classes. If they take a CPL class,
referral requests.
Now they move over into an area where I can ask them for referrals. I can invite them to future classes like advanced pistol training, different things that I have to offer. I can email them and say, hey, alumni attend free this weekend. Maybe I have a bunch of empty seats. I tell them, bring me a paying client. You as an alumni get to sit through the class for free just to kind of re-up your information. Great way to put butts in seats, and it costs you nothing. People are eager to bring somebody else to class and sit with them to support them through class. But my refund policy, if they miss a class, it depends. On paper, I say no call, no shows, forfeit their money. That has worked against me just because credit card companies are very sympathetic to their credit card holders and not sympathetic to firearm trainers. So typically I say on paper, if you no call, no show me, you are going to forfeit your money. If they call and apologize and say, hey, listen, we had an emergency, whatever, I will allow them to book for another class. I have not just taken somebody's money and not given it back. It hurts sometimes when you're having to do that, but it's just customer service. If you have a chronic person who is no call, no showing you for a class or continually putting you off, I would charge a rebooking fee of $25 in order to recoup some of that money. I don't often have that happen. I do make notes if I do have a person who keeps putting off a class, but there's usually a reason for that. And I usually call them out on it.
Yeah. The big thing you got to watch with your relationship with your credit card providers is that you don't want large amounts of
bunch of
chargebacks. If you force your customer into that situation with a very, rigorous program like that, I think you're going to find in time that it's going to work against you because the banks are not in not on our side these days, just like social media and other things. So yeah, be careful with that.
Right.
Any other questions?
Jeff, you haven't said anything. Jeff nope, you're still here. Talk to us. What can we help you with? Jacob, Jim, anybody, ask me anything.
All right. Well, if there are no further questions, you know where to find us. So cloudbedrock.com/contact is our quick and easy book a 15-minute call. And then we have the special out there, which is special.cloudbedrock.com to get the special offer, which includes the done for you courses, unlimited websites and funnels, and all those types of things right there for you. Once you
Eric
sign
and
up,
Ken, get on our schedule for tomorrow.
you
We'll
got to
get
get on our
those
schedule.
classes up. We'll get
Yeah.
those classes up for you. You guys can start selling those right away. Awesome. You already are. Good. Oh, there we go. All right. And if anyone needs us, you know where to find us. We'd be happy to help. Until then, we'll see you at our next webinar. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.